So in this video, I want to talk about how we can stop competing with the machines. So here's a video of Eric Schmidt, the previous CEO of Google, saying that AI is now our competitors.
We are living through a moment that will be in history for thousands of years. It is the moment in history when a non-human intelligence arrived and it was a competitor to us. Right? How we use that, how we shape it, right, how we guarantee alignment will determine the outcome.
And here's another video of Cowen showing us what the trap is.
The whole system is set up to incentivize getting good grades, and that's exactly the skill that will be obsolete. Yet our institutions of education, I don't see that they're changing at any level whatsoever. There's a lot of hand-wringing about how do we stop people from cheating, and no look at what should we actually be teaching and testing.
So the trap is that we are still valuing human intelligence based upon grades and its ability to do rote memorization, which is something that the AI can now do really well. But the question is this all human intelligence is? Is it the case that we are just going to lose to these perfect, tireless employees? I want to say that there are three categories of things that we can do to avoid competing with the machines. The first thing is to not do things that it can do really well. So an example of this would be the difference between an essential skill versus an incidental skill. Incidental skills are skills that you just had to pick up so that you could finish a task, kind of like learning how to write a MLA citation just to finish your research paper. I think that things like these are going to be automated first because they're just so annoying. On the other hand, essential skills are the more fundamental skills, kind of like critical thinking, writing, maybe coding, not like the typing out of the code, but just thinking about the architecture itself. How do you solve a problem? Stuff like that. I think that those things are going to still be important even with AI. The second category of things that you can do to avoid competing with the machines is to do things that it can't really do. So some examples of this are dealing with things that are messy, kind of like whenever you are building a factory or building a business, you're going to have to think about logistics with people and regulations and all these things, and you have to patch them together. It's really messy and it's really hard for an AI to do on its own right now. A second example is to look for leverage. So the AI is like really good at adding more, but it doesn't really know where the leverage is at. It doesn't know where there's buttons that you can press on that will give you a multiplied effect. So some examples of this are systems thinking, networking, trying to find the important nodes that have more weight to them. So the third category of what you could do to avoid competing with machines is to aim for the improbable. The reason being that these LLMs were created by getting all of the data on the internet and then getting it to output the most likely next word. So if you want to avoid competing with them, you need to stop trying to be consistent and instead aim for being occasionally brilliant. What this would look like is that instead of trying to aim for the standard, you're really trying to surpass it. So what you would be doing is taking a lot of risk, trying to aim for the high variance. You have a lot of failures, but sometimes you have a winner, and then that winner will have an outsized impact. Otherwise, you're just going to blend in with the same output as the LLMs, and then people won't be able to tell the difference between what you did and what the LLM did. And so if you're taking a lot of risk and you're failing a lot, the best strategy here is to just really be authentic, because if you love what you do, all of these things, all of these downsides won't really matter to you. So if you avoid doing the things that it can do really well, and you try to do the things that it can't really do, and then you aim for the improbable, I think that you have a good chance at avoiding competition with the LLMs.